Today, we have a topic that many English learners secretly struggle with.
And I'm Mike. Hi, Sarah. Hi, everyone listening from around the world.
Today, we have a topic that many English learners secretly struggle with.
And I'm Mike. Hi, Sarah. Hi, everyone listening from around the world.
It is serious, but in a very common way. Many learners can read English, they can understand grammar, they know a lot of vocabulary, but when it's time to speak, something strange happens.
Secretly? That sounds serious.
Exactly. Or they pause for too long. Or they know what they want to say in their own language, but they can't find the English words quickly enough.
They freeze.
Right. Then they feel pressure. Their heart beats faster. Their mind becomes blank. And finally, they think, why can't I speak English? I studied so much.
And while they are trying to find the right words, the conversation keeps moving.
That's a perfect way to describe it. The English is there, but the brain is not trained to access it quickly.
I know that feeling. It's frustrating because you feel like the English is somewhere in your brain, but you can't open the right door.
Exactly. Today we're going to talk about how to train your brain to think in English so you can stop translating every sentence in your head.
So today's episode is about opening that door faster.
It does, but it's not magic, it's training. And the good news is that anyone can do it with the right habits.
That sounds like a dream for many learners.
No, grammar is useful, of course, vocabulary is useful too, but today we're focusing on something deeper: how to build an English thinking habit.
So, this episode is not about memorizing more grammar rules.
Exactly. You may know the word, you may know the grammar, but if your brain always goes through your native language first, speaking will feel slow and heavy.
Because knowing English and using English are not the same thing.
Yes. Every time someone asks you a question, your brain opens the backpack, looks for the translation, checks the grammar, worries about mistakes, and then tries to answer.
Like carrying a backpack full of dictionaries.
Right. But imagine something different. Imagine someone asks you a question in English, and your answer comes naturally. Not perfectly, maybe, but smoothly. You understand the idea, and you respond directly in English.
And by that time, the other person may already be wondering why you're so quiet.
Yes, and today we'll show you how to move toward that goal step by step.
That's the goal.
Great question. The simple answer is because it feels safe.
Sarah, let me start with a question. Why do learners translate in the first place?
Yes, your native language is familiar, it's comfortable, it's the language you use to understand the world. So, when you learn English, your brain naturally uses your native language as a bridge.
Safe?
Exactly. At beginner level, translation can help. If you learn the word apple and you connect it to the word in your native language, that's normal. It helps you build basic understanding.
That makes sense. At the beginning, translation is useful.
No, not at all. Translation is a tool, but here's the problem. A tool that helps you at the beginning can slow you down later.
So, translation is like training wheels for language learning.
Perfect example. Training wheels help a child learn balance, but if you never remove them, you can't ride freely.
Like training wheels on a bicycle.
Yes, useful at first, but limiting later.
So, translation is not bad.
Exactly. Many B1 or B2 learners have a lot of English inside their brain, but they still translate automatically because it has become a habit.
And many intermediate learners still use translation even when they already know enough English to think directly.
Right. Sometimes the problem is access. The learner has English knowledge, but the brain is not used to reaching for English first.
So, the problem is not always lack of knowledge.
Let's imagine someone asks you, "What did you do yesterday?"
Let's make this very clear. What happens when a learner translates during conversation?
Yes. But if you translate, your brain may do something like this. First, you hear the English question. Then, you translate it into your native language. Then, you think of your answer in your native language. Then, you translate your answer into English. Then, you check the grammar. Then, you worry about pronunciation. Then, you finally speak.
Simple question.
Too many steps for a natural conversation.
That's a lot of steps.
Exactly. Conversation is not an exam. You don't have 5 minutes to prepare every sentence. You need to respond in real time.
Because conversation is fast.
Yes. And when the learner feels slow, they may feel embarrassed. Then they become anxious. And when they are anxious, speaking becomes even harder.
So if the brain uses too many steps, the learner feels slow.
Exactly. Translation creates delay. Delay creates pressure. Pressure creates anxiety. Anxiety blocks language. Then the learner thinks, I'm bad at English, even though that's not true.
It's like a cycle.
Yes. And the solution is to train a faster system.
That's important. The learner is not bad at English. They're just using a slow system.
By repetition and direct association,
So how does the brain become faster?
yes. Instead of connecting an English word to your native language first, you connect English directly to meaning, images, actions, emotions, and situations.
Direct association?
Sure, think about the word water. When you hear water, you probably don't translate it anymore. You just understand it.
Can you give an example?
Exactly. That's direct association. The word connects directly to meaning. Your brain doesn't need a middle step.
Right. I immediately imagine water.
Yes. Not just simple words like water or coffee, but full ideas like, I'm running late, that sounds interesting, or I'm not sure how to explain it.
So the goal is to make more English words and phrases work like that.
Exactly. When English phrases become automatic, speaking feels lighter.
Those phrases should become automatic.
That's actually a great metaphor. Imagine your brain is a forest. At first, there is no clear path. If you want to walk from one place to another, you have to push through branches and tall grass. It's slow and uncomfortable.
This reminds me of walking through a forest.
Yes, but if you walk the same route every day, slowly a path appears, the grass becomes flat, the branches move out of the way. After some time, you can walk easily.
That's like speaking English at the beginning.
Exactly. That's what happens in your brain. Every time you think in English, speak in English, listen in English, or connect English to real meaning, you walk that path again.
And eventually, you don't even think about the path.
Yes. Neuroscientists call this building neural pathways, but you don't need to remember the science term. Just remember the forest.
And the path becomes stronger.
Exactly.
Walk the English path every day.
The first strategy is mental substitution.
Okay, let's talk about practical strategies. What is the first one?
It means replacing some of your daily thoughts with English.
That sounds technical. What does it mean?
Yes, but there's an important detail. You're not trying to translate perfectly, you're trying to express the idea.
So when I think something in my native language, I try to say it in English?
Translation asks, what is the exact English version of this sentence? Expression asks, how can I communicate this idea in English?
What's the difference?
Very different. Translation often creates stress because learners look for the perfect sentence. But expression gives you freedom.
That's different.
Exactly. Let's use a simple example. Imagine you are drinking coffee and you think, this coffee needs more sugar.
So instead of asking, what is the perfect translation, I ask, how can I say this idea?
You could say, this coffee needs more sugar. That's fine. But you can also say, this coffee isn't sweet enough. Or, I should add more sugar. Or, I like my coffee a little sweeter.
Okay.
Exactly. And this is powerful because real conversation is flexible. Native speakers don't always use one fixed sentence, they express ideas in different ways.
Same idea, different expressions.
Yes, flexibility is one of the keys to fluency.
So learners should practice flexibility.
Exactly. If one sentence doesn't come to your mind, another one can.
I like that. Fluency is not about knowing one perfect sentence. It's about having options.
Yes. If your brain has only one road to an idea and that road is blocked, you freeze. But if your brain has three or four roads, you can keep going.
And that reduces pressure.
So here is a simple exercise for listeners. Choose three normal moments in your day. For example, making coffee, walking to work, and preparing for bed.
That's a great image.
Yes. During each moment, describe what you're doing in English. But don't stop at one sentence. Try to say the same idea in two or three ways.
Very ordinary moments.
Good. What else?
Very ordinary moments.
Nice. Another one?
I'm preparing something to eat.
Excellent. Now, your brain has three English paths for one simple idea.
I'm getting my breakfast ready before work.
Good. Say it in different ways.
Let's try another. I'm looking for my keys.
Perfect. Notice how natural those sentences are. They are simple, but useful.
I'm looking for my keys. I can't find my keys. Where did I put my keys? I need to find my keys before I leave.
Exactly. That's why this works. You're not learning random sentences from a textbook. You're connecting English to your real life.
And these are the kinds of thoughts we actually have every day.
Yes. And personal language is easier to remember.
That makes the English more personal.
The next strategy is building an English inner voice.
What's the next strategy?
Yes. Everyone has some kind of inner voice. You use it when you plan, react, worry, decide, remember, or imagine.
Inner voice means the voice inside your head?
Exactly. Most people use their native language for this inner voice, but if you want to think in English, you need to invite English into that space.
For example, what should I eat for lunch? Or I hope I'm not late.
It can feel difficult at first, so start small. You don't need to think in English all day. Just choose short moments.
That sounds interesting, but maybe difficult.
Yes, 5 minutes is enough to start.
Like 5 minutes?
Anything real? That's important. Don't only label objects. Many learners start by thinking table, chair, door, window. That's useful for beginners, but it becomes boring quickly.
What should I think about?
Exactly. Let's say you're walking outside and the weather is hot. You might think, it's really hot today. I should have brought some water. Maybe I'll stop at a cafe.
What should I think about?
Exactly. Let's say you're walking outside and the weather is hot. You might think, it's really hot today. I should have brought some water. Maybe I'll stop at a cafe.
So, we need real thoughts.
Yes, it has observation, feeling, and a possible plan.
That feels like a real inner monologue.
Use simple English. Don't wait for advanced vocabulary. The goal is not to impress yourself. The goal is to keep the English flow moving.
What if I don't know all the words?
Simple English is powerful. A simple sentence that you can use immediately is better than a complicated sentence that stays locked in your head.
So, simple English is okay.
Also, you can use bilingual inner monologue at the beginning.
That's encouraging.
You think something in your native language first. Then you express the same idea in English. For example, you think, I'm tired today. Then you say in your mind, I feel tired today. I didn't sleep well last night.
How does that work?
Yes, but it's controlled. You are using it as a bridge, not as a permanent home.
So, translation is still involved at first.
After some practice, something interesting happens. Some English sentences start appearing first.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yes. Your brain likes efficiency. If it learns that English can express an idea directly, it will sometimes choose the English path automatically.
Without trying?
Exactly. And that small moment is a big victory.
So one day I might just think, I'm so hungry in English.
Yes. Fluency is built from many small moments like that.
It seems small, but it means the brain is changing.
Because emotional experiences are easier to remember. Your brain pays attention to things that feel important.
You mentioned emotions earlier. Why are emotions important?
Exactly. We all do. Emotion makes memory stronger.
That's true. I remember embarrassing moments very clearly.
They can practice expressing real feelings in English as they happen.
So, how can learners use emotion in English?
If you feel annoyed, think or say, "This is so frustrating." If you're surprised, say, "Wow, I didn't expect that." If you're happy, say, "That made my day." If you're disappointed, say, "That's not what I hoped for."
For example,
Yes, and they're useful because people don't speak only to exchange information. We speak to express feelings.
those are very natural phrases.
Exactly. Emotional English makes your speaking feel more alive.
That's true. If I only know factual sentences, I may sound flat.
Sure. Flat English, the movie was good. Emotional English, I really enjoyed that movie. The ending surprised me, and I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Can you give an example of flat English versus emotional English?
Another example. Flat English, I am tired. Emotional English, I'm completely exhausted today. I feel like my brain needs a vacation.
Much better.
Exactly. Language is not just correct words, language is personality, emotion, rhythm, and connection.
That sounds more human.
Yes, an inner monologue is a safe place to do that.
So if learners want to sound natural, they need to practice expressing feelings.
Exactly. You can try new phrases, make mistakes, and experiment.
Because no one can judge you.
Yes, input is what you put into your brain. If you want to think in English, your brain needs a lot of English examples.
Now let's talk about input, listening and reading.
Correct. Some input helps you grow, some input only makes you feel comfortable, and some input makes you feel completely lost.
But not all input is equal.
Exactly. There's a very useful idea called comprehensible input.
So learners need the right level.
Yes, but with a small challenge. Ideally, you understand most of it, maybe 70 to 80%, and the rest is new but guessable.
That means input you can understand, right?
If you understand 100%, it may be too easy. You can still enjoy it, but you may not grow much.
Why not 100%?
Then it's too hard. You may feel frustrated, and your brain may stop learning because it's just trying to survive.
And if you only understand 30%?
Yes, you understand enough to follow the meaning, but you still meet new language.
So 70 to 80% is the sweet spot.
It is. Let's say you're watching a video in English. If you can understand the main idea without stopping every 10 seconds, that's good. If you miss a few words but still understand the story, that's good.
That sounds perfect for intermediate learners.
Exactly. That becomes a translation exercise, not fluency training.
But if I have to pause every sentence and check the dictionary, it's too hard.
First, choose topics you care about. This is very important.
What kind of input should learners choose?
Because interest creates energy. If you love cooking, English cooking videos will feel easier than a random business lecture. If you love football, match analysis in English may motivate you. If you love travel, travel vlogs can pull you in.
Why?
Yes. And attention helps memory.
So interest helps attention.
Second, choose content with clear context. Videos are great because you have images, facial expressions, gestures, and situations. All of that helps your brain understand without translating.
That makes sense.
Exactly. If someone says, I'm freezing, and you see them wearing a coat in the snow, you understand the meaning from context. Exactly. If someone says, I'm freezing, and you see them wearing a coat in the snow, you understand the meaning from context.
So the brain connects English directly to the scene.
Right.
You don't need to translate word by word.
Subtitles can be helpful if used wisely.
What about subtitles?
For training your brain to think in English, English subtitles are usually better. They help you connect the sound with the written words.
English subtitles or native language subtitles?
Then you can use native language subtitles once to understand the story, but don't stay there forever. Watch again with English subtitles later.
What if English subtitles are too hard?
Exactly. A bridge, not a permanent home.
So subtitles can be a bridge too.
That's true. But repetition is one of the secrets of fluency.
Many learners don't like repetition. They say it's boring.
Use spaced repetition with real content.
So how can we repeat without getting bored?
Instead of listening to the same podcast 5 times in one day, listen today, then again in 3 days, then again next week.
What does that mean?
Because each time you return to the content, your brain has changed a little. Maybe you learned new words. Maybe your listening improved. Maybe you remember the topic better. So the same content feels easier.
Why is that better?
Exactly. The first time, you may understand 70%. The second time, 85%. The third time, maybe 95%.
And that gives you a feeling of progress.
It does. And that feeling is important because motivation grows when you notice improvement.
That must feel great.
Yes. And confidence is a major part of speaking.
So repetition is not just about memory, it also builds confidence.
Exactly. And when you feel less nervous, your brain works better.
Because if you believe you can understand English, you feel less nervous.
Yes. Input gives your brain examples. Output trains your brain to produce English.
Now let's talk about output.
Yes. Input gives your brain examples. Output trains your brain to produce English.
So listening and reading are not enough.
They are necessary, but not enough. You can watch thousands of hours of English videos and still feel nervous when speaking if you never practice speaking.
Like watching exercise videos but never exercising.
Exactly. At some point, you need to move your own muscles.
Speaking is physical too, right?
Exactly. That's why shadowing is so useful.
So even if I understand a sentence, my mouth may not be ready to say it smoothly.
Exactly. That's why shadowing is so useful.
Let's explain shadowing clearly.
Shadowing means listening to English and repeating it, trying to copy the speaker's pronunciation, rhythm, stress, and intonation.
Like being an echo.
It is, but you don't need to start there. Start with level 1.
Level 3 sounds difficult.
Choose short audio, maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute. Choose a speaker you like. It could be a podcast, a YouTube video, or an audiobook.
What should learners shadow?
No. Choose something clear and not too difficult. Remember, the goal is not suffering. The goal is training.
Should the audio be very fast?
Here's a simple shadowing routine. First, listen once without speaking. Second, listen again and read the transcript if you have one. Third, repeat sentence by sentence. Fourth, Try to copy the speaker's rhythm. Fifth, record yourself and compare.
Good point.
Yes, and it can take only 10 minutes.
That's a complete practice session.
Absolutely.
10 minutes every day could make a big difference.
I know, most people don't like hearing their own voice
You mentioned recording yourself. Many learners hate that.
because when you speak, you focus on meaning. You may not notice your pronunciation, speed, or grammar, but when you listen to a recording, you hear yourself more objectively.
Why is it so useful?
Exactly. A mirror for your speaking.
So the recording becomes a mirror.
Not everything. That's important. If you try to notice every mistake, you'll feel discouraged. Choose 3 things.
What should learners listen for?
Maybe pronunciation of word endings, speaking too slowly, speaking too fast, missing articles like a and the, or using the same words too often.
For example,
Yes. Here's a simple exercise. Choose a topic like my morning routine, my favorite food, or a place I want to visit. Record yourself speaking for 2 minutes.
so choose 3 points and improve those.
Yes. Write down 3 things to improve. Then record again on the same topic.
Then listen back.
Exactly. And that immediate improvement gives you confidence.
The second version will usually be better.
Yes, mistakes are not proof that you are bad at English. They are information.
This also helps learners see that mistakes are fixable.
Exactly.
Information about what to practice next.
They can use self-talk narrative.
What about learners who don't have anyone to speak with?
It means narrating your actions, thoughts, and feelings out loud in English.
That sounds interesting. Like a documentary of my life. Like a documentary of my life.
It is. You are practicing real-time English production. You are not memorizing a speech. You are speaking about life as it happens.
That sounds very practical.
Very close. In real conversation, you often need to describe, react, explain, and decide quickly. Self-talk trains that.
That's close to real conversation.
At home, while cooking, cleaning, getting ready, walking alone, or taking a shower.
Where should learners do this?
Absolutely. No audience, no pressure, just you and your English.
The shower is a great place for language practice.
That's normal. But remember, feeling silly for a few minutes is better than staying silent for years.
What if someone feels silly?
It's true. Many learners wait until they feel ready to speak, but speaking is what makes you ready.
That's a strong sentence.
Exactly.
So don't wait for confidence, build confidence by practicing.
Very common.
Let's talk about mental blocks. You're in a conversation. Someone asks you a question. Suddenly, your mind goes blank.
Often anxiety. When you feel pressure, your brain goes into stress mode. It becomes harder to access language.
Why does that happen?
Exactly.
So the English is there, but stress blocks it.
First, don't panic. A pause is normal. Native speakers pause too.
What can learners do in that moment?
Second, use filler phrases.
That's true.
Let me think about that for a moment. That's a good question. I'm not sure how to explain it, but how should I put this? What I mean is, let me say that another way.
Like what?
Yes, and they keep the conversation alive.
These phrases give you time.
Exactly. Native speakers use these phrases all the time.
They also make you sound more natural.
Simplify your message.
What else helps?
Many learners freeze because they try to say something too complex. They want a perfect sentence, but they don't have the words yet. So instead of saying nothing, say a simpler version.
That's important.
Sure, complex idea. I'm considering whether I should continue my studies abroad or begin working full-time in my country because both options have advantages and disadvantages.
Can you give an example?
A simpler version, I'm thinking about my future. Maybe I will study abroad. Maybe I will work in my country. I'm not sure yet.
That's a lot.
Exactly. Communication first, complexity later.
That still communicates the main idea.
Yes. Don't let perfect English stop real communication.
That's a good rule.
Of course. It's natural to want that, but perfection can become a trap.
Many learners want to speak perfectly.
If you wait until your English is perfect before speaking, you may never speak. Because perfection is not the starting point, it's something you move toward through practice.
How?
Exactly. Mistakes are not the enemy, silence is the bigger problem.
So mistakes are part of the process.
Every time you speak, your brain learns. Even if you make mistakes, you are training speed, confidence, memory, pronunciation, and communication.
That's powerful.
Very valuable. In fact, it may be more valuable than silent studying.
So a conversation with mistakes is still valuable.
Yes, you're training your brain to survive and communicate in English.
Because you're using the language under real conditions.
Language learning is a little dramatic sometimes.
That sounds dramatic.
Everyone wants a number.
True. Now, let's answer the big question. How long does it take to start thinking in English?
The honest answer is it depends.
Yes. 2 weeks? 2 months? 2 years?
I know, but it's true. It depends on your current level, how often you practice, how much English you hear, how much you speak, and how close English is to your native language.
People don't like that answer.
Yes, if you practice 15 to 30 minutes every day, you may notice small changes in 2 or 3 weeks.
But can we give general expectations?
Maybe a simple English phrase appears in your mind automatically. Maybe you think, I'm tired, or where are my keys? In English without trying.
What kind of changes?
Exactly. After 2 or 3 months, you may notice longer thoughts in English. You may describe your day, make plans, or react emotionally in English more naturally.
Small but important.
With consistent practice, many learners feel that English is no longer only a school subject. It becomes part of their daily thinking.
And after 6 months?
Yes, but consistency matters more than speed.
That's a big change.
Exactly. Your brain needs regular contact with English.
So 20 minutes every day is better than 3 hours once a week.
Yes. You can't pour a whole bucket once a month and expect the plant to be healthy. It needs regular water.
Like watering a plant.
Exactly.
English needs regular practice.
Absolutely. Here is a simple routine for training your brain to think in English.
Can we give listeners a daily routine?
Yes, not 3 hours, just 30 minutes.
Let's make it realistic.
First, 5 minutes of mental substitution. During a normal activity, describe what you're doing in English and say the same idea in 2 or 3 ways.
Great.
Perfect. Second, 10 minutes of listening input. Choose a podcast, video, or audio at your level. Listen for meaning, not every word.
For example, I'm getting ready for work. I'm preparing to leave. I need to get dressed and pack my bag.
5 minutes of shadowing. Take a short part of the audio and repeat after the speaker.
Third,
5 minutes of self-talk. Speak out loud about your day, your plans, your feelings, or your opinions.
fourth,
Reflection. Ask yourself, what English phrase did I use today? What was difficult? What can I try again tomorrow?
and the last 5 minutes?
Yes, and simple routines are easier to keep.
That sounds simple but effective.
Exactly.
There's one idea I really like, making English part of your identity.
Yes, that's important. Many learners think, I am a person studying English. but it's more powerful to think, I am becoming an English speaker.
That changes the feeling.
It does. Studying English sounds like a school task. Becoming an English speaker sounds like a personal journey.
And identity affects habits.
Exactly. If you see yourself as an English speaker, even a growing one, you will look for chances to use English.
You might think in English while walking,
Yes, you might watch videos in English, you might write short notes in English, you might speak to yourself in English.
because that's what English speakers do.
Exactly. You don't need to be perfect to call yourself an English speaker. If you use English to communicate, learn, think, or express yourself, you are already on that path.
That's encouraging.
And encouragement matters. Many learners are too hard on themselves.
They notice every mistake but ignore every improvement.
Exactly. They say, my grammar was wrong, but they don't say, I answered a question in English. They say, I forgot a word, but they don't say, I found another way to explain my idea.
So they only see failure.
Yes, but learning is full of small wins. You need to notice them.
What are examples of small wins?
Understanding a sentence without translating, remembering a phrase naturally, speaking for 1 minute without stopping, watching a short video and understanding the main idea, asking a question in English, rephrasing when someone doesn't understand.
Those are real signs of progress.
Absolutely.
Sarah, before we finish, what would you say to someone who feels stuck?
I would say this: feeling stuck does not mean you are not improving.
That's important.
Sometimes your brain is working quietly. It is organizing information, strengthening patterns, and preparing for the next breakthrough.
Like progress happening under the surface.
Exactly. Think of a tree. For a long time, you may not see much growth above the ground, but the roots are growing deeper. Then suddenly, the tree grows stronger.
Language learning is like that.
Yes, some days you feel fluent. Some days you feel slow. That's normal. Don't judge your whole journey by one difficult conversation.
One bad day doesn't mean you're bad at English.
Exactly. It means you had one bad day.
So keep going.
Keep going, but don't only work harder, work smarter. Train your brain to use English directly. Use mental substitution. Build an English inner voice. Choose good input. Repeat content. Practice output. Speak to yourself. Record yourself. Use filler phrases. Simplify your message. And most importantly, be patient.
That's a full plan.
Yes. And remember, the goal is not to remove your native language from your life. Your native language is valuable. The goal is simply to give English its own space in your brain.
So English doesn't always need to pass through another language.
Exactly. English can stand on its own.
And when that happens, speaking becomes faster, lighter, and more natural.
Yes, that is the moment many learners are waiting for, but it doesn't arrive by accident. It arrives through small daily habits.
Small habits, repeated often.
Exactly.
Let's recap today's main ideas.
First, translation is useful at the beginning, but it can slow you down later.
Second, your brain needs direct English pathways.
Third, mental substitution helps you express daily thoughts in English.
Fourth, inner monologue helps English become part of your thinking.
Fifth, emotional English makes language stronger and more memorable.
Sixth, good input should be understandable but still challenging.
Seventh, repetition helps English patterns become automatic.
Eighth, output is essential. You need to speak, even if you make mistakes.
Ninth, filler phrases and simple sentences help you survive mental blocks.
And 10th, patience and consistency are more important than perfection.
Beautiful summary.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
Before we say goodbye, let's give listeners one small challenge.
Good idea.
For the next 7 days, choose one daily activity and do it in English in your mind.
For example, making coffee.
Yes. Every day while making coffee, describe the process in English. Say what you're doing, say how you feel, say what you plan to do next, try different sentences.
By the end of the week, that activity will feel more natural in English.
Exactly. And then choose another activity.
Step by step, English enters more parts of your life.
That's how you train your brain.
Not with pressure, but with practice.
Not with perfection, but with consistency.
Not by translating forever, but by building direct English paths.
Exactly.
This was a great conversation, Sarah.
It really was. And to everyone listening, remember this. You are not failing because you still translate. You are simply at a stage of training. With the right habits, your brain can change.
Your English can become faster,
Your thoughts can become clearer.
and your speaking can become more natural.
So keep practicing. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small wins. And trust that every minute you spend using English is helping your brain build a stronger path.
Thank you so much for listening.
If this episode helped you, share it with another English learner.
And tell us, when do you translate the most? During speaking, listening, reading, or writing?
We'd love to hear your answer.
Keep going. You're doing better than you think.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.